Hello, Karen, can you hear me?
Yes, I think you can start. Maybe give a basic
Sure,
introduction, stuff like that. Yeah. Also, if you have any questions, use the Q&A section to ask your questions, and then he'll answer later.
sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hi guys. So my name is Ronnie. Tieno. I'm Android developer. Currently working for a company based in Czech Republic. But you have many offices in Netherlands. It's called Amorula Solution. I've been working there for like 5 months now. Before I was at Adalab, and before that I was at Soft Search. So I've been working for like roughly 2 years now. And Odari and I have had this session that it's ongoing. Yeah, so today I'll just go through Firebase because I'm very sure everyone knows Firebase. Like if you do Android or any project, Firebase is one of the first services to use because it's kind of free and everything. So what is Firebase? Firebase is it's kind of, I don't know if I can say a tool, like before it was like a startup and it was bought by Google, and it has a lot of features that developers use to make the app. So they say that we don't need to write the backend code, kinda, because they have everything built. So we have like analytics, we have like databases, FCM, which we'll go through about that. So this is the features of the Firebase. So we have like real-time database, like database that, for example, if you text on WhatsApp, that text should instantly. So that it's just real time. So if we change something in database, the other phone will be notified. We have the authentication. You can use Firebase to authenticate, like people using phone, email, and others. We have cloud messaging. This is where there is a notification thing. Now, if a person texts you, it goes through the Firebase cloud messaging system, which will now send the notification to the phone. You have the storage, where you can store your images, videos, files, and others. You have the hosting. This is where they host the website, web application, and all those. Test lab is mostly used to test application and everything. So you have different machine, different environment, which you can use to test your app under different condition and different environment and all those. You have crash reporting. Like if you develop an app, you can put crash analytics in the app. So if there's a crash in someone's phone, it will go to Firebase. So just go through the console and see where there was crash and can work on that. You'll get the time, the version, the uh, things, so many things that you can know about the phone, like the manufacturer, the model, and all those. Yeah, so there's remote configuration. This is mostly when you are building an app, you can opt to change things remotely rather than having them recorded in the app. Yeah, and we have like dynamic links. For example, if you click on a link for example, in WhatsApp, it will take you to, it will open the app, or it will take you to PlayStation, download the app. You don't have that app. So that's one of the dynamic links. It can be used to send data for the invitation and all those. Yeah, basically that's it. So Firebase, if you're Firebase, like you don't need to write a lot of backend code, which is um, kinda comes in handy, like when you're a bad beginner and you don't have people in your team, just want to practice. Yeah, so don't need to write the code for the backend. Everything will be there. You can just push the code. For example, we'll go through the database in the meantime. And Firebase works across all platforms, web, iOS, Android, any platform. but I think WebIOS and Android are the most that people use. So you can do something, it's just like the normal backend, you can do something from the web and iOS, and yeah, that way. So with analytics, Firebase give you like analytics of how your people are using your app, like how many people go to the app daily, per minute, and show you how people are installing and installing your app, and all those, which are very good for you. Like if, for example, you want to know how your people are reacting to your changes that you made in the app, or you can use with the investors and all those. So like the age, the time, the country, all those, a lot of things that you can use in your app. So just like I said, we have the real-time database are used. As I said, you saw and sync the data in different devices, different apps. You have the authentication, the cloud messaging that will deliver the notification, and you have the storage, which will show the files. The hosting that I talk about, you can host the web, like web applications. Yeah, you can, the test lab, you test the lab in different situation. Crash reporting that I said. So with notification, you engage with the user. Like I said, if a person likes something, you can send the notification. If, for example, let's say a person liked the post you post on Twitter, it will be notified. That's how it goes. And remote configuration, you customize that. The way I said, like you customize your app depending from the like the backend point of it. So you don't need to add code everything in the app, because in Android you can't change anything on the fly. You need to push a new update to the Play Store, which is not convenient. But with Firebase, you can put some things like some keys and everything that you can change from the Firebase console, and that will affect all the app using your app. You see, for example, if you want to maybe remove some, let's say you want to remove a paywall for everybody, you can just do it on the side, and everybody now can access all the app, things like that. Just try to imagine things that you can change in an app when a person is using. So yeah, indexing, it helps like in the mostly how people should get your app when in Play Store. It's a good thing. Like if your app is indexed and if it's searchable, it will appear fast, like on the top, things like that. Dynamic link, as I said, it's more of I know you know these links, like you can be sent a link, and if you have the app installed, it will open something. For example, let's say if I send you like a tweet, if you have the app open, it will open that tweet. And if you don't have the app in your phone, it will take you to Play Store. So if you have the app, it will open the link in the app. If you don't, reach with Play Store or in the App Store. It all depends. Invites is more or less like dynamic links, because it's just send the invites, people can get your app and everything. Now, for example, you can use that to award people based on the people that they had invite. So for example, if I give the link, invite 10 people, things like that. Yeah, sure. So with Firebase, you can also add like ads to your app, which I don't recommend really. It's kind of weird. I can't use AdMob to try to earn from my app. It's just weird. But yeah, you can now add your Google ad in your app. So when people are using the app, they can see the annoying ads and whatever. Yeah, but you get some money. You can only get enough money if when people are using your app. Yeah, so I won't say that now start building an app and put an ad. It's kind of turn off for some people. So that's basically about the Firebase. Now we can go to code and see how we can add the Firebase to our Android application. And I think if there's any question until this point, maybe you can ask or post. Yeah, but I think we'll go through the how to add the Firebase to the project first, then I will answer the question as we go by. So the first thing first, we open Android Studio. So this is what like I was trying to just rehearse before I did the this call. So you will start just a new app. Even if you don't have a new app, doesn't matter. Just go to a new project, just empty activity, that's normal. And maybe just say BSC, Firebase. Yeah, Kotlin, of course, and just finish. It will take some time to build your app, depending with your computer and internet. So it takes some time. So yeah, before we connect the Firebase, let's go to Firebase Console and see how it looks like. So this is how Firebase Console look like. Like this is the app that I have. This is the app that I had today because I was trying to do like the trial run before I did this call. And this is the reward app, the app that we were building. So this logo, this for Android, that means this app is only running on Android. And this app is running both Android and iOS. So I have like some apps here that I was trying before. So there's two ways how you can add your Firebase project, but I think one way trumps them all, which we'll go through. Now go to Android Studio and click Tool and click Firebase. And you will get this pen, assistant pen, and just click Test Lab. And first of all, it will, not Test Lab, mostly we start with Analytics. Analytics, just a moment. Analytics. First of all, it will tell me to build my app before adding the Firebase. So you can just click that and click Connect Firebase. Because I've not built the app, it will tell me to build the app before Connect Firebase, which I'm doing right now, building the app for the first time. Now that is built, now we can now click Connect to Firebase, and it will open the your default web browser, which is mostly, I know it's Chrome. Now here, you can connect to any other project that you had built before, or you can add a new project. So for the sake of this video, we just go to add a new project, and you will take the name of your app. You see the way it is, and just click continue, or you can change the name if you want. Of course, you need to enable Google Analytics. It's like, I don't know, way back it used to be mandatory, but that now it is not, but you need to enable Google Analytics for the project and continue. And now here, you just create a default account for Firebase. You don't need to go do much. This here, it's called, it's like Google Console. That's where you get a lot of things in Google, and that's where you will pay for some of the services. And so as you know, Firebase has some of the different packages, but mostly we start with Spark Plan, which is free to use. But now if you want to do something like the notification, the Firebase cloud messaging system, you need to upgrade to maybe other plans that you just, you can put your credit card, and I'm pretty sure it won't be debited at all, because it needs a lot of calls for them to start charging you. but don't do that if you're not sure. And just click create project, take a while. If there's anybody coding along, I think they can just post any question or any clarification in the chat, and Karen can just tell me. After the app has built, just go to continue, and now it will open the app. This now tells you that you need to connect your app to the Firebase, which will happen automatically, but sometimes you need to first run the app for the first time for it to connect. Now just click connect, and you try to connect your app. Now the app that we have in our Android Studio open to this Firebase project. Can take a while. Now you say that it has been connected, and for you to confirm it's connected, sometimes it's not connected, but you can just go back to console and rerun, refresh. You will see this. If you click on that, you sure see that now it's connected. Now we have our app is now connected. So sometimes not connected, but if it's not connected automatically, you can just try to build the app and run for the first time for it to connect. But now it's connected. Now we have this app connected to our project. If you want to know it's connected, you can just go here and click on project and open that. You will see a new file called Google services.json. This is the file that your app used to connect to that Firebase project. So you see the Firebase project and everything. Yeah, this is what is added when we are connecting to the Firebase. Now that we connect to Firebase, what next? Because I said that Firebase has a lot of things, but for now I think we'll just go through one feature, which is how to create, for example, to send data to the database, which is Firestore database, and to retrieve data from the Firestore database. First of all, you can just go here. For example, if you want to add authentication, you can just add authentication. Click on this and we'll add the dependency. But now, because we want to add the Firestore, you can just go get started with the Firestore, click on that, and click on Add Cloud Firestore SDK to your app and accept. Now, if you go to the build script, you will see that this has been added, like the Firebase Firestore has been added to the project now. You can still add it this way, normal, just go and Google the dependency and add it, or you can just use the tools. Which one is easier for you? Tools, go to Firebase, and now just search what you want to add to your project. Just scroll down and see what you want to add to your project. Yeah, you see? I think for the first thing first that we need to do, I said that we need to add analytics. Just a moment. Firebase. We need to add analytics. I think it's one of the things that they need you to do. You must add analytics. For you to get the analytics of your app, just click add analytics and accept changes. Anytime you want to use Firebase thing, I would suggest you to add analytics first. Now you can add anything else you want to use. So for our side, we want to use the Firebase Firestore. This is one of the databases that are used to store data in the Firebase. Now they are added and the Gradle are sync. We can go to our project now and go to Firestore database, click on that. Take some time. And create database. You need to create it first before you use it. create database. Yeah, so here we have rules. You can start production mode that you can have like rules to which only authenticated people that have been authenticated to use. But we can also start in test mode, which allow anyone to see and write data, which I don't recommend. That's for just for testing. But if you want to use your app, you need to authenticate the guys, and now you need to only accept read and write if the users have been authenticated. But just go to test mode and click next. And here you need to choose where you want your files to be. You are like what you want, where is near to the place that you have the users. So that will help something called latency. For example, you don't want to choose a region like far away. So I think when we see on this, the nearest place that is near to like East Africa is Europe Central too. These other places are kinda away. Yeah, so we can get the Europe Central too. It depends where the users are mostly. So I'm just trying to imagine where so this is like the data center where it's going kind of. Yeah, so I think Central Europe is near East Africa, and just enable. Take some time. Now the database has installed. We can now start using the database. Now it's there. Just go to the app. And I think the first thing you need to do, just get a layout. Go to our layout. And let's just have this. That. That. Let's have this button. They said add save to database. Can have save, and let's say bottom to bottom of parent, bottom to bottom parent, and let's say margin start 20 BP. Just copy this, and let's call retrieve. Sorry, retrieve. Let's say end to end, end of parent, and let's say margin end. Sure. I think you can have text view somewhere that will show the data. Text view, match parent, wrap content, top to top of parent, and end of parent, that to top of parent, and bottom to top of. Save.
Ronnie,
Yes.
kuna mtu anasema kwa chat section that they haven't been able to connect Firebase to their Android studio. They want you to repeat the process.
They were coding along, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can create a new project, then we go through. So first of all, let's create a new project. Go to new project and just get an empty project, doesn't matter. call it Firebase 2. If there's any question, just let me repeat that part. So I think we are together right now. Just create a new project, or if you have an original project, that doesn't matter, and finish. It will take some time. After that, we have done that really. Just go to tools, then go to database. First create a project, then go to tools, then go to database, click, First create a project, then click on tools, then go to Firebase, then click Firebase. It will open this pane on the right side, and scroll to analytics and click get started with Google Analytics, and click on connect to Firebase. This is the first step, and you need to build your project if you're not built before. Just build the project. Now you can click on connect Firebase. It will open the Firebase, and here you can select any other project that you have before, or you can create a new project. So I'm assuming that you want to create a new project. Just click add project. And you have the name, you can change the name the way you like, but I just leave Firebase 2 for now and click continue. I hope they're together. Leave everything the way they are, click again continue, and here select default account for Firebase for now, and click create project. It will take some time. Just give it some time. Then if it's ready, just click continue. It will open the project that you have built. It's now try to connect your Firebase. You need to have internet for you to do all this. It's now try to connect the Firebase project in the studio with the project. Just click connect. And now you see that it has been connected. Sometimes it won't connect automatically. I don't know if this will connect automatically. Just go back to Firebase. Create that, click on that. It's connected automatically now. But I'm very sure some people will not be connected automatically. So it's very hard to replicate because it's not working. Then if you want to confirm that it's connected to Firebase, just come back to your project, click on Android, click on project, expand this, expand the project, then expand app. You will see this google.json. This is what connects your app with the Firebase. After you see this, that means your app has been connected successfully with the Firebase now. It's working. Yeah. Karen, is something that I can repeat again? Hi Bello, have you connected the Firebase now? I assume I can continue, right?
Yes, you can continue. If they have a question, they'll just post it in the Q&A.
Sure. Now we can go back to the project that we have created before. Let's go back to the project that we created before that we are using. Building like the layout for it to show. So ID. This is like a normal thing. Now that we have the layout, now we can go to our main activity and get them. So val button save is equal to find. You can also use data binding, doesn't matter, but just for the sake of this video, we don't need that. Then go to button retrieve. Then go to, let's go to text view show. That's where we'll show the data because we want to use like list and everything. So show and call it like show text. Text. The first thing first, we need to get the instance of our Firebase, like Firebase project. First, let me just copy this. So we can just put it here. So this here will get the Firebase database, like from the classes and functions that Firebase are added to our project. So this we can use now to get the create or get the data. Now we just say button save. Let's set on click listener. If it's click, we want to do something, and let's call it save, and just create this function. So if it's click, we'll call the function that will be inside here. So first thing first, we need to know what we want to save. So there are two ways to save. First is to use hash map. Second, to use data classes, which I know we all know our, mostly we know you have to use data classes. So let's say now, if you want to save something like, let's say, user. So first of all, let's use hash map, and I'll show how it goes. So var user is equal to hash map of, and let's say, yeah, string and any. So this means that the field that we will store, like for example, let's say name, of course, that will be string. That's like a must. And two, when we put Ronnie, see, name is now mapped to Ronnie. And say, let's say company is mapped to Amarula. Age is mapped to 26. Because we have used there any, you can use anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be string, but this part need to be string. That's a must. So now we want to save this user to our database. So you can just put Firestore database dot save. Let me confirm. Yeah. So Firebase database dot collection. So the collection we want to use, we want maybe to save, maybe let's say, maybe users. You can use anything. The collection, maybe users, products. But now we want the collection. Let's say it's more of like a table name. Yeah. So we want to store user Ronnie. Let's just call it Ronnie. User Ronnie. Want to store user Ronnie to the database dot add. Then we add user Ronnie dot add on success. then add on failure. You can use all that to know if there's something that failed. You see, so if the user has been saved successfully, we can toast. I will know that the user has been saved. If there's any failure, still we can just toss the failure and see there was failure. And let's put like it. Just toast what went wrong. And as we all know, we need to add, at manifest, we need to add an internet for it to work. That's a must. So use permission, internet, and here. Now, if you run this app, we'll be able to save this to our Firebase. Now let's run the app and see how it goes. This first one is using HashMap. The second example, I will show you how to use data classes. Now the app is open. So if I click save, I will be able to save this to Firebase. No, just now click on save. It will toast if there's an error or if it worked perfectly. I think we don't have internet. Don't have internet. I don't know why it's not showing the internet or the mobile, wherever. Turn off the internet. I don't understand, but let's see. You need to have the internet or internet, Wi-Fi, or the mobile data for it to work. Let's see if it really saves anything. Okay. Let me relaunch the emulator and see if I get the internet, because I don't understand why there's no internet here. So just a moment. Yes, just launch the emulator. Now run it again. Just run the other one, kind of, if it will work. Yeah, this one now has the internet, the Wi-Fi and the internet, so that will work. I don't understand why the other one didn't have the internet. Sure. Now, if we click save, we will save this data to Firebase. Let's click save. You see, user with ID has been saved. Now, if you go to Firebase, we'll see. Let's just refresh. You see, we have the collection users, the ID 26, 826, company Amarula, name Ronnie. You see, so that has been successfully using the hash map. This using the hash map thing. Now use what's called data classes. Just go here and click a new, then Kotlin file, call it maybe user, and put a class. Then val name of string, val age of int, val company of string. It's the same thing that we have here. We have the name, company, age, which we have name, company, age. Now, so the next one, let's now try to just comment this one out. Sorry, comment this one out because don't add it twice, and just rename file use Ronnie. Just rename it Ronnie 2 is equal to user. Then here we want to add all those. So the name is, let's call the user IV. IV. Name is IV. Age is, let's say 23. Company, let's just put anything. So this now will save the IV the same way I saved myself here as Ronnie. As Ronnie, the same way that I'm saving IV. Now we can just add IV to that table, user IV. And let's run the app, and we add it, and we'll see that it will be popped in there in our Firebase project. Now click save, and it has been saved. Now if you go back, we will see another user, the name 23, company Nyeri, name IV. So simple, right? And also we can even save different. We can also have let's say, what can we add here? Let's say maybe we have like another class called, let's call it like a school. Let's say it has name. Now let's assume that this user also has a school. We can add like the school. That means the user also need to have school. And we can just go back here and add school. And let's say school as the name of, I don't know, that way. And we'll add the user IV and the school with the whatever it's called. Now let's run. Add. It has been added. Now if we check here, we have the user age, company name, school name. You see, you can do that. Also, we can do that with the hash map. We can just go next and put school and to, let's put school, and let's say took, and add Ronnie now because that's what we have changed. And if you run, and add save. Now, if you go back to our project and see, you see that there's a new field with Ronnie, then the name of school there, took. You see? Now, that's now saving. You can save anything nested, doesn't matter. You can even save list of things there. Just add the place that we had school, just add the list of school, list of anything. It will still work. Now, let's say if you want to get now the data, now that you have saved the data, let's say now if you want to get the data now. Now we say button retrieve dot set on click listener. Let's say retrieve a new function. new function. Just the same way we did first database dot collection is called users dot, then we put dot get. It's now not add, it's now get dot add on success listener dot add on a failure listener still as well. So here we'll call this snapshot. And we'll have a snapshot dot for each. So we'll now iterate to the snapshot. And we want to add it to a list of users, because the way it is here or here is the same as how the users here. So for you to get the data back, now you can't use, okay, you can use the hash map, but I would suggest that now create like a user, which we have here already. And we can create like a list of user. So private file user list is equal to array list of user. This now with all the data that we will get from the Firebase. See, we can just now call it val user is equal to can just call it snapshot now. Is equal to snapshot to object, and we put the user class, user class dot java. And after getting the user, now we use our user list dot add user. And after that, after add everything, we can now put our text view, text show, because we don't need to use what's called like we don't need to use list or I don't know what's called. Sorry, just a moment. We don't need to use exactly because it's more like this is more of Firebase thingy. Exactly is another one, but as long as you have list, you can use this in Exactly. So let's just put this as a class as property. Now we can access it here. Just put text view dot text is equal to user list dot let's just call something else like var text show of string is equal to empty string. Then now let's iterate. This you don't need to do all this. If you have like recycler view, just set the list to the recycler view. But because you don't have recycler view, I just want to show like to show all the list properties in the text view. So I just need to iterate through the list. User list done for each, and just put text show dot is equal to text show plus it oh sorry. This will now just iterate through the list and add the new user to that string. This doesn't matter. I just want to show it to the text view. This part don't need to shake anything. Just shake up to here. We just have the user list, and now we can just put dot show text show. Also, there's one thing that I've left intentionally, because if you run this up the way it is, it will crash, and I'll tell you why. So let's just run, and it will crash, and I'll let you know why it has crashed. So if you go to logcat, just open verbas, and let's put error, because that's what we want to catch, and click on retrieve. Yeah, it has crashed, and I know why it crashed intentionally. It's something that really beginners don't get to know. But yeah, for us to use Firebase to object function, this one here, this to object, we need to make sure that everything here has like a default value. So we can just put them as empty for now. Default value, let's say 0. Let's say empty. Let's say here to be like school, and name as empty for now. And let's go to school. Also just put it to be empty. Now, if we run, we'll get the data that we want. Everything should be empty. So let's go back. Let's open, and now try to retrieve. You will see now we have the user one, user name IV, all those are shown here. So this is what we got from that list. Yeah. So I think up to that point, I can now just try to recap on what you have done. And if there's any question, you just ask. First of all, we how to add the Firebase to the project. Just go to Tools, click on Firebase. It will open this pane. Click to Analytics, get Analytics. Then we get here the connect. If you click this connect, it will open the Chrome. You can connect it from there, and things will move smoothly. And anytime you want to add anything to your project, just come to Tools. You'll get anything that you want. For us, we added this Cloud Firestore. Click there, just added it, because now it's added. Everything is working smoothly. Then now we wanted to save the data. First of all, there's two ways to save. You can use the hash map, which is this one, or you can use the data class, which is this way. But I would recommend you just use data class, because it's much more easier, and that's how you will get the data. You can get data as hash map, like it's not easy to go through it. And just call the Firebase, the collection, for example, users, products, anything, then add that. And if there's success, show that it's a success. If there's failure, just show that there was failure. And now how to retrieve, just go to the same issue, users, or product, anything, use get. During add, you use add. But if you want to get, use get. And here you will get something called snapshot. So just as I say, this one here doesn't matter. So you can just now go through the snapshot and add the user that you will get from database to the classes, and add to the user list. Now this list you can set to the circular view adapter. But because now we just want to show text in text view, we had to just create a random things here to iterate through the list and add each user to that string and show it. And for you to use the to get the data with that data class, you need to have empty name, like empty things, like it's just default. For example, if the integer will have 0, if it's string, empty string, that way. If it's another what's called like another data class, you can just have that data class with default things, evo. Yeah, so it's much of that way. But there's another way of how to go about this, but this is one of the common way to do with the Firebase issues. So I think I've done. If there's any question, yeah, you all can ask.
Yeah, thanks, Ronnie, for that session. I especially love the part where you were explaining like how they should go about it, helping them in case they have troubleshooting. So we have a couple of questions. So one of the questions was from Juliet December.
Yeah. Yeah.
Asking, is it possible to add a list of users at once
Yeah,
instead of one instance?
sure. I think we can try that. So let's say, I think we can try that. So let's say we have the user Ronnie and user IV, and we can just put, for example, file user list2 is equal to array list of user. But for you to add like a list, you don't need to use hashmap. Now we can just use the data classes. Let's say maybe you have the user IV2. Let's just call anything else like user1, user2. Let's say name, let's say Juliet. Other things can be the same, just know the name. Let's say Clifford. And let's now this user list2 dot add user1 user list2 dot add user2. Then we can just put here, then we will add user list2. And now if we run this and call save, we'll save this one, and we'll just check. Let's just put anything. Let's say 19 and let's say 21. Now we see the difference in the Firebase. Just call and save. Yeah, there's an issue here. Yeah, sure. I think that there's an issue there. Let me just confirm. Sure, you can do that with the real time. I think that there's an way. Let me just, I've never thought of that. I remember using the real-time database, which is not Firestore, and we used to use list. Not sure if this work. Let me see. Okay, I think I'll just go through this and let Juliet know. I didn't know that it could work, but I think I'll check it and let you know, or even after the call, and I'll let you guys know in the group. I think I will need to work on that, Clifford.
I think today we've been learning a lot of skills, and we've also been learning about using Stack Overflow. I think it's a good tool that you've shown. We don't always know everything, and it's always good to like research and keeping Stack Overflow close to you. So I think we had another question. So Sindeti Sarah was asking, do we have to use Firebase rather than customizing our own local database by writing queries? Hello, Ronnie, can you hear me? I think we've lost Ronnie. Let's give him time to reconnect. So as we wait for Ronnie, maybe I can give my own perspective regarding Syntheti's question. So I feel like we have the ability to customize our own local database by writing the queries, but I feel it's more of your project and you as a person, you as a developer, because Firebase Firestore would be really easy to use and really fast to set up compared to like writing the queries for your local database. But the good thing with writing queries, you're flexible and it's more flexible. It's an option that's more flexible and easier for you to use. So it really depends on the developer. From my own perspective, I feel like it depends on the developer and what you're trying to achieve. You might require a really detailed and customized database that Firestore may not be able to offer. So that may require you to write your own local database. But you may require to set up a quick project, maybe a prototype for your project. You may, because of time constraints, you may choose to use Firestore. So it depends a lot to the developer and what the developer wants to achieve in the project. So unfortunately, I think Ronnie is having internet issues. Let me reach out and know if he'll be able to connect. Okay, so as Ronnie fixes the issue, I'll handle the questions that I can handle. Okay, we have Bello asking for the source code for the class. Yes, we can reach out to Ronnie, and Ronnie will be able to share the source code for the class for this class. I'm not so sure if you're in the WhatsApp group. I'll share the link. I think you can share it there with you, or we can send via email to the attendees of the meeting. Okay, I also see Juliet was asking for an explanation on the retrieve function. If we are able to get Ronnie, I'll ask him that. Any other question that I can answer?
There's also another question. Difference between Firebase.
Yes, I see a question by Kibet asking the difference between Firebase database and Firestore. Fortunately, I've never used Firebase database. I've only used Firestore, but I think if maybe I can speak, I think the difference might be the syncing options. I think Firebase Firestore would be much faster in syncing the data that's been saved and in retrieving it than Firebase database. I'm not so sure of the main difference because I've never used Firebase database. But I think Ronnie might have a better perspective. Or Karen, have you ever used Firebase database?
No, I have not.
Okay, I think once Ronnie reconnects, we might have a better. Oh yeah, Ronnie's back. Ronnie, are you able to speak? Hi, Juliet. I see you have like a perspective on Firebase database and Cloud Firestore. If you're able to talk, it will be great to hear from you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I've not like worked with the Firestore before, just the database. I've worked with the Firestore, which stores in document form, like the one he was showing us. But the definition I've Googled. I don't have deep understanding in it. Yeah.
Okay, so but from what I see that you've posted, I think the Firebase database stores in a JSON tree, and the Cloud Firestore stores in form of documents. So I'm not so sure if Ronnie will be able to rejoin. So unfortunately, Ronnie is unable to rejoin, but we would still love him to address your questions. So I think if you have any questions, please post them here we'll relay to Ronnie, and we can respond in video. We can just record a short video where it addresses each of the questions and send it to you people. Yes?
So in the group, Ronnie is suggesting if you can ask questions from the group.
Oh, I post the questions there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. I feel it will be much hectic, like relaying the questions back and forth from here to the group. Also, Karen has shared like a link. I think Bello was asking for the WhatsApp link. There's the invite there. So I feel it would be much easier if we just shared a response video from Ronnie. Let me confirm with him. Is asking for 5 minutes to rejoin. I'm really sorry for the technical issues that we're facing. It's unfortunate, but let's just see if he's able to join. If he's not able to join, okay, he's back. Okay. Ronnie, are you able to speak? Hello, Ronnie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry guys, I don't know what happened. I think my laptop didn't just work on like internet, so I had to restart it again. I'm sorry for that. I think I can continue where I was. I was trying to explain like Juliet's question. Seems like it's not easy to just save it that way, but I'll check it more. I'm not sure how it goes. I remember when we were using a real-time DB, that was possible, but I'll check on that and I'll get back to Juliet in the group together with the others. I'm not sure why it's not able. You can't save like a list to Firestore. Yeah.
Okay, and also Juliet was asking if you could explain more on the snapshot in the retrieve function.
Yeah, sure. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Just as I said, like you can leave this. Don't matter what matter is the list. So the thing is, we had this on success listener and we get the snapshot. Snapshot is how the Firebase get the data. It's like a list. Now we loop through that list using the for each and get each snapshot. And this snapshot we now convert it to the object class with the user class. And now this user class we add to the user. So here maybe you can even put like it doesn't matter, things like that. It's just the how you call it, yeah. But here we'll just have like a collection of the snapshots, so many snapshots, and now we just go through each snapshot. We'll now change it to the object class, which is the user. That's how we intend to get the data. And now we use the list to add that user. So from this list now you can use the list to show the circular view or anything else.
Okay, thanks for that explanation, Ronnie. So we were having another question from Kibet. I was asking for the difference between Firebase database and Cloud Firestore.
Yeah, so real-time database and Cloud Firestore are different. Okay, when I started like using Firebase, I was using the real-time database, and I think I'm not sure what's much difference. That the difference is that because the Firestore has the document, the real-time doesn't have the document. So the real-time is like the old one. Firestore is built to improve what the real-time didn't have. Like for example, things like querying. Some query were hard to implement in the real-time database. Now the Firestore came with maybe complex way to query things, complex way to store more complex data structure, things like that. Yeah, for now, normally I don't know much about the difference, but I know that if you want to use Firebase now, you don't need to use real-time. Just need to forget about that. Just use the Firestore because it's a new one which was built on top of the real-time database. It came like years later.
Okay, thanks for that, Ronnie. And just to get your insight, Sindeti was asking, in what cases do we have to use Firebase rather than customizing our own local database by writing queries?
You can't use local database. Like for in the scenario that you want to use Firebase is more of scenario where you want to use your backend. Maybe you don't have backend, just need to use Firebase. You see, you can have data stored in the Firebase, which can be synced across different devices. You can't save the data in your local database and sync it across devices. Let's say you want to be like a chat message, you need to have somewhere which the data is stored and gotten from with every phone. So use Firebase, see like database, Firebase Firestore as like that table that you will have in your backend that will save the things that you will use across different platform and different users. And Firebase has a lot of things that, just like I said. So most people will have their backend, but also will use Firebase, like things like cloud messaging for notification, things for Crashlytics, things like analytics. So Firebase is a crucial thing that you need to add in your project. Even if you are not using the Firebase database, you need to use it for like notification, Crashlytics, all those that I mentioned earlier when we started. Yeah. So Firebase is not, you can't equate it to your local database storage. It's not.
Just to understand you better, you're saying someone can use both the local database and also use like Cloud Firestore to sync across different devices.
Sure. If for example, let's say you are making like a chat app. Now, for me to chat with you, we need to have like a place that we all get the message from. So if you have a local storage, your phone can't get what I've written. You see, so I need to send it to the database faster, and now from your faster to your phone. But the thing is, Firestore has this inbuilt feature that you don't need to cache data on your own; it's cached automatically. So if you use Firebase, it will automatically cache the data if you want it to cache it. And you can also so you can have the two copies, which is in your phone and the one that can be accessed with different devices, different people, which is the Firestore, which is now stored like in the what's called like a server kind of. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So if there are any other questions, would not like to leave anyone out. Okay, Juliet has a question.
Yeah.
Juliet, if you're able to speak, you can just speak. Or if you can also type in the chat. Okay, is there anyone with a question? Any question? Okay, Juliet is asking concerning using both the Cloud Firestore and the database. So she's asking, so when you use both, does it mean the data in Firestore is in the server?
Sure, the data that you have in the Firestore is in like data center somewhere. That's where when we are making like the Firebase project, we need to select where that data is stored. So the one that in Firestore, they're stored somewhere. That's why you can go to Firebase and get it there because it's stored there. It's stored there. If you have the project, you can see all the data that are stored there. So let's go to Firebase. This app. Let's go to Firestore. So this data is stored here. It's not stored in anyone's phone, even including yours. It's stored here. So when you query it, is when that it will be cached in your phone and stored there. But for now, it's here. It's in the server. Anybody who has the permission can access that data. So let's now try to imagine like we were chatting with you. You can just post data here. Then the guy will not notified and post another chat that way. So they're here in central place, which any platform can access.
Okay, thanks for that, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So I think there are no other questions. I appreciate you taking the time, Ronnie, to teach on Firebase.
Yeah.
Yes, we have another question. I think we can also take this one. So Owaleke is asking, is it possible to sync the data in our local database, like room database, with our Firestore database?
Sure, it's very possible, but I see no need for that because Firebase has the inbuilt caching capability. We normally use room database with our backend because we don't have that caching room capability. Firebase, you can cache that data without using the room. But if you feel that room can help still, you can use room. But I won't tell you to go that hassle, and Firebase can do all those. So that's more like advanced part of Firestore, which maybe in future we can go through, like caching the data. You see, we have this thing called like a single source of truth. Now, if you cache the data, the first thing that you will do, if you request the data, it will check. If you have this data, it will show. If you don't have this data, it will go to the server, get the data, store it, and show it to you. So it's more or less like a room, but there's no need for you to cache it because database has that functionality already built. You just need to implement it. Yeah.
So thanks for that. I think Karen, did you share the right WhatsApp link? I think they're saying it's invalid. So apart from that, thank you all for attending. I'd like to apologize for the technical difficulty we had, but
I think there's something up here, like I see this Sindechi Sara. In what case do we have to use our Firebase rather than customing our own database for just open queries?
yeah, I think that we had addressed earlier. She was asking if, in what cases do we use the local database instead of Cloud Firestore?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, makes sense. And there's this guy Bello who wanted to see the code. I think I'll share the code to GitHub and just share the link to the group so they can be shared. Yeah. I think there's another question. Maybe you can close it now.
Yeah. So there are no questions left. I don't know if Karen can send the link before we close the session. Karen, are you able to send the link? Or let me try to reach for the link.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that link works now. Yeah, so thank you so much, Ronnie, for making time for this session. Thank you everyone for remaining despite the technical issue, and I think we'll improve on that. I think it was just a problem with the Bevy, but thank you all for attending the session. Hope you learned a thing or two using Firebase. I think Firebase is a really important tool, and it's not only used with Android, and it's used with a lot of technologies, and it helps like fasten things and using a lot of things. It makes life easier. So I think at that point we'll end the meeting now. Thank you all for making time for this meeting. Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.